how is it when we're going to go on a holiday that we can get that much done? And if you think about it in your life, when you really wanted to go somewhere or something was going on, then you got it done. And that's the kind of, in a way, pressure. It is pressure, but it's a good pressure, but it's putting that and fabricating that. I remember being at an amusement park with my then girlfriend, now wife, and I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't stay here anymore. Literally, we paid for tickets to go into Magic Mountain, or is that what the one is? The one that's in Valencia, like on the way back from LA, right? So we were in Disneyland, and then on the way back, we're like, oh, let's do one more day. And then I was just stressing out the whole time because I wasn't getting enough work done. And like, we got off a ride, and I was like, we got to go. And she said, we paid for the day here. I'm like, yeah, we got to go. She was so mad. And at that time in my life, she was always like, you never stop and smell the roses? She should have known. She should have known before she decided to marry me, because I was like, okay, we got to go. And I went back to work. I like literally drove up to San Francisco and went right to work. And I remember she fell asleep on the couch behind me. I was like at an edit suite, and I just like went to town, and I was letting things take my life. And so coming back to this plan, my fun first, what I've done, and it took some mindset, and let's maybe uncover that. So I want to open this discussion. I plan my fun first, because then that causes me to take the time away from work. So what essentially happens is I force the work hours into said amount of time so that I leave. Like even right now, I'm making my new plans for how I want to see the next year come. And I'm like planning when I'm going to get music lessons. And then I pay for an instructor. You can learn a lot on YouTube these days. And I do, I'll put my phone up and learn some piano, and I'll learn things. But you know why I'm hiring a pianist to teach me? So that I show up. So I show up. So then I'm like there. It forces me, especially if I pay the money, then I want the money. Or planning time with my family. It all comes to a Zig Ziglar story that I learned. And he said, why is it when we go on a holiday, we'll do so much more work before we leave? That's the question he posed. He's like, if you were going to go, and at that time he used Acapulco because it was a quite attractive destination at that time. It's not as popular these days. So he said, if I had 2 tickets to go to Acapulco and everything was paid for, flights, room, food, drinks, everything's paid for, and you're like, would you want to come? And people go, yes. And then he's like, okay, well then the only thing is we have to leave at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Can you do it? And then some people say yes, some people said no. They said, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I have obligations and whatnot. And then some people said I can. And then he asked them, well, what do you have to do between now and 8 o'clock to get to meet me at the airport? Oh, I got to do this. I got to get someone to watch my dog. I got to get someone to watch my kids. I've got to do this. I got to do that. And the list goes on and on. And he says, you're going to get all that done before 8 and be there on time. Yes, I will. And then he's like, well, how is that possible? Is that the normal amount of workload that you have? No. Oh, so how is it when we're going to go on a holiday that we can get that much done? And if you think about it in your life, when you really wanted to go somewhere or something was going on, then you got it done. And that's the kind of, in a way, pressure. It is pressure, but it's a good pressure, but it's putting that and fabricating that pressure. Instead of allowing it just to happen, we're actually saying, you know what, I'm going to have music lessons at that time. So that means I've got to be done to go to my music lesson, or I'm going to be forfeiting money, or I'm going to make a date with my wife, or I'm going to make a date with my children, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that. So planning my fun first enacted that ability to go the opposite of what you just said, Todd. So then now no longer am I saying, oh, if I have time left, it's like, no, I've got a meeting. I've got to go. I paid for this, or whatever it is. And then I make that happen. And then guess what was happening? I started getting all my work done in a shorter period of time. Because if you allow, here's what I'll cap this all off with, and I'd love to hear what your experience has been once you started applying this. If I allow the whole day to do something, I'll take the whole day. If I tell myself I need to get it done in this period of time, then I can give it a go. Now, it doesn't mean it always works. Sometimes I might give 4 hours to something and it really needs 8 hours. Then I'm like, oh, that didn't work. Next time I know, okay, I got to do 4 hours one day and 4 hours another day, or can I do a whole 8 hours? We learn from this. I'm not saying it works perfectly the first time, but you start compartmentalizing what needs to be done. And then I would, after applying this, I could work a 4-hour day and get more done than someone putting a full 8-hour day in.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mindset. We think we're being productive, but and this is proven statistically. You can look at it. Like, I love that show, Adam Ruins Everything. Has anybody ever seen that show? Yeah, and he does one on work, and he says it's less than half of the time anyone working is actually using productive time. I forget the statistic. I had it written down. I took so many notes. It's a 30-minute show. I filled pages of notes from that one because it's all in our theme, like work less. And everything he found statistically was like, if you work that amount of hours, most of it's unproductive. Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.